We have gone on the Almighty. We have asked for a leader, not a ruler. And now, what a ranking, Yano Kandi, Tinaka, Wabeka, Anambra, Nima, Uleta,
Yeah. Appropriation law of Anambra State. That's a budget of about 259.9 billion, approximately 260 billion naira appropriation law for 2023 for Anambra State. And I want to use this opportunity to thank the House of Assembly, ably here represented by the Speaker, my left hand side, and the Majority Leader, the Clerk of the House, and my right hand here you have the Deputy Governor and the Commissioner for Budget and Planning. Plus the executive worked very hard to make sure we got the appropriation act to the Parliament. But the bigger job, the more fundamental job has been done by the House itself, by the House of Assembly. Our advisor, State Assembly Affairs, is just former Speaker of Anambra State House of Assembly. You're welcome. I want to thank the Parliament, particularly for this very productive partnership. They've cooperated with the executive, very critical junctures. We are partners in this transformation agenda of Anambra State, and they have demonstrated that once again, the leadership that they have shown in expeditiously scrutinizing and finally passing into law the 2023 appropriation law. It is this kind of partnership that will transform Anambra, that will lead Anambra into the dreams that we have promised the people. This budget is one that will talk about acceleration. It's a budget of acceleration, isn't it? Yeah, it's the one, in spite of all the odds, in spite of all the challenges in the country, challenges of insecurity, challenges of economic downturn, revenue, and so on and so forth, we're still pressing the accelerator, and just from the takeoff. And this budget prioritizes quite very key as major areas of focus and priority for Anambra State. As stated in my budget speech, you can see the 5 buckets of security, law and order, become another bucket of economic transformation, of our social agenda, human capital development, seven-based fundamental priorities for us, and of course transforming the way we work, the way government works, and finally the 5th major pillar our environment. The budget prioritizes these 5 key buckets of our transformation agenda. And once more, I want to thank the State House of Assembly for expeditiously and painstakingly going through this within, I think it's a month or thereabout. It was at the House at the beginning of November, 10th of November, and today the 13th of December. We're signing that into law and worked day and night to get this to happen. Even to sign this today, I understand they were working in the office to make sure to get copies ready for this morning's event up to 1 a.m. in the night. That's the spirit, that's the Anambra spirit. We get things done in spite of all circumstances, whatever they are. So we don't give excuses. We get things done. And thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thanks to the members of the House of Assembly, and thanks also to the Commissioner for Budget and your team. I learned you guys almost left there as well. And thanks to all of you who were able to make it early this morning. So we're now set to deliver for next year with the budget in hand. Let's get it done. Thank you very much. There is no this one, number 2. No. In the 5 buckets, we're hitting all of them simultaneously. That's law, security, law, and order. You're doing that, you're getting onto your massive economic transformation, including the issues of infrastructure, power, and technology, and all of that. And then, of course, our industrial parks and agriculture and various commerce industry and so on and so forth. Within that bucket, nothing, you're not going to wait until you finish fixing part A. Then part C, the social agenda, economic, health, education, and tackling the vulnerable groups, and trying to leave no one behind. Human capital. As you realize, we just employed 5,000 teachers in our schools, employed another 300 in hospitals, consultants, doctors, and professionals. We're modeling general hospitals and lower level ones, even the tertiary ones. But this evening I have a meeting with staff of the teaching hospital. So we're hitting everywhere. Then, of course, the way government works itself, reforming government, digitizing our processes, our land registries being digitized, and technology everywhere and everything. Technology promoting transparency, accountability, and prudence in management of public resources. Reorganizing our bureaucracies and making them tighter, more efficient, more effective in service delivery. And then you have the 5th one, which is our environment. Our environment is our existential threat. As we said, we've said it every time, and prioritizing, controlling our, drainages, erosion, control, flooding, massive and erosion. We were desilting our drainages, cleaning our place, waste management, and so on and so forth. None of them can wait until the other is done. So see, these various buckets, they're all pressing the accelerator on all the 5 fingers simultaneously. So the accelerator pedal has got not 1 pedal, it's 5 pedals. We'll keep pedaling on each one of them simultaneously. And that's the only way we can get it done. Because, like I said, the number 1 of it is security, law, and order. But the sequence doesn't mean that the other one will be left behind. As we are pressing on security, law, and order, you're also dealing with the environment simultaneously, reforming the way government works, heating up the social agenda. because our human capital is our most important resource, ultimately. And of course, you got to put money in the pockets of people and make this place livable. Our overall agenda is to make Anambra livable and prosperous. Livable and prosperous, smart mega city. That's our agenda. That's our destination. And this budget contributes on the path to that glorious future that we dream for our homeland. Thank you very much. As said there in the budget speech, the Parliament had earlier approved in June for us to borrow 100 billion. Part of it was to fund this year's budget. But up to this particular moment, we have not borrowed a cover of that. But we still managed to pay off tens of billions contractors and all of that, and hitting the ground running. I think Anambra is bound into the construction site, with construction everywhere. We're still negotiating the potential debt. But like I've always said, our focus in all of this is to ensure that Anambra maintains fiscal sustainability. And even what we're going to borrow will still be way underneath that. And Anambra will continue to win.
Anyway, this is not something to.
You have tackled security very well. The other one is the quality that is necessary to make the roads motorable pending the full construction work that will come up under this budget. That is one. Two, Anambra is a very highly commercial state. And the policies of the recipients essentially is on cashless arrangements. I wouldn't know how the state is cascading that message so that our people will not be dislocated or caught in the trap.
Thank you very much. I think two-part process. The one is about palliatives, and I can on the roads, and I can tell you that that is ongoing. We had a meeting with the local government chairman here, and we had a long meeting here, and one of it was for even the local government chairman, and then to tackle some of the rural or non-highways and so on and so forth. And the resources for them to get to work and get those fixed were made available to them as well. And so that's when getting into action. There are all kinds of teachings and so on, just to make the place motorable as it were. We faced unprecedented flooding in parts of Anambra that have washed off roads, cut off communities, roads and bridges washed off, damaged, and we're getting into those are major interventions that the state will be embarking on, has embarked upon in some areas. But, and then, of course, the massive construction side that you've talked about. Even palliatives on federal roads, it's not just on state roads. Anambra is spending close to 2 billion now since I came in. On federal roads, because most of the federal roads that are being passed through Anambra are totally not motorable. I mean, but it's our people that pass through this and go through the harrowing experience every day. So we have had no choice but to even intervene in those areas. Major areas, quite some strategic areas of intervention that the state government has also backed upon, areas of your, what you call palliatives. But our palliatives are not really the typical palliative just to make it motorable one day. We build to last, you know. And the quality of our roads, the quality is unprecedented. Delivering quality roads to our people. And even our palliatives, when we come in for palliatives, we also ensure that at least it endures for some time. It's not every day you'll be going on palliatives. So that is for that. Talk about the CBN policy, cashless policy, and all of that. And I think if I understand the bent of your question is the extent to which we educate our people about that. Well, I leave that to our communication team to try to inform and educate people as much as possible. I also believe that the central bank is doing its own job by educating the general populace, not just Anambra people, educating the majority of Nigerians about the policy and how it is supposed to work and so on and so forth. So it's not anything peculiar to Anambra. It's a national policy.